What does it mean for something to happen at one fell swoop? How do you use this idiom in a sentence? How was it originally used by Shakespeare? What's an antagonist? What's the difference between prophesy and prophecy? What does it mean to be the be-all and end-all? What's a soliloquy? Can you guess where we find the first use of assassination? All this and more coming up. Do keep watching after you've subscribed to the English Nut. Thanks. I've been using the phrase in or at one fell swoop for years. I knew it referred to things happening or being done all at once in a single swift action. I used the idiom in sentences such as the following ones. His hopes of becoming a Bollywood star were dashed in one fell swoop. She lost her husband, her home, and her job at one fell swoop. The tsunami destroyed the island city in one fell swoop. The social media companies took away our privacy at one fell swoop. Somewhere down the line, I realized that this idiom was from Shakespeare's Macbeth. Like many other phrases, this one was either invented or popularized by Shakespeare. His play certainly contains the first documented use of it. Macbeth, a Scottish general, discovers 3 witches on a bleak Scottish moor. The witches prophesy that he will be the future king of Scotland. His ambition thus whetted and then egged on by his wife, Lady Macbeth, he assassinates Duncan, the current king, and ascends the throne. However, he is racked by paranoia and ends up killing anyone he perceives as a threat. But killing the family of Macduff, a legendary Scottish hero who is an antagonist in the play, marks the moment when Macbeth descends into utter madness, because he has nothing to gain from this killing. He does, however, have a lot to lose from it, as it turns out, because Macbeth eventually dies at the hand of Macduff. By the way, prophesy is a verb that means to predict. It ends in sy. Prophecy, spelt with a cy, is a noun that means a prediction. Coming back to Macduff, when he discovers that his wife and children have been murdered by Macbeth's agents, he cries out, "All my pretty ones?" Did you say all? Oh, hell kite, all? What, all my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop? A swoop is the sudden, swift dive of birds of prey. It is how they catch their dinner. Here, poor Macduff likens the killer of his family to the kite, a hunting bird, swooping down from hell and killing his helpless chickens, his children, and their mother, the dam. Dam means the female parent of an animal. Even though I'd been using the phrase one fell swoop for years, I hadn't given much thought to the meaning of the word fell in it. It was obviously not used as the past tense of fall. Well, it turns out that it's an old adjective that, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, meant fierce, cruel, ruthless, terrible, destructive. Fell in this sense survives mainly in this idiom. The earliest usage of the word dates back to the late 13th century. It is related to the old French fell, which comes from the Middle Latin fellow, meaning villain or traitor. It is linked to the word felon, which used to mean a wicked person. Over time, the meaning of one fell swoop has lost its original savagery. It is no longer necessarily about a violent act, but merely a sudden one where things are done at one go. The guests were so hungry, the snacks disappeared in one fell swoop. He completed his Diwali shopping at one fell swoop. The new law ended all forms of discrimination at one fell swoop. The acts described in these sentences are benign, unlike the ones in the first lot of examples I gave you. Each of those had the sense of a terrible blow. You may hear people say one foul swoop, where foul is spelt with a U, or one foul swoop where it's spelt with a W. These are mistakes, people getting muddled by the unfamiliar word fell. But one swell foup is not a mistake. It's a deliberate distortion used in a jocular way. It's a useful joke, with swell serving as a reminder that fell, which rhymes with it, is the correct word to use. The be-all and end-all is the most important element, reason or purpose for someone or something. Here are examples of its usage. For Sylvia, poetry was the be-all and end-all. Nothing else mattered to her. She told her money-minded friend Ted, "Look, money is not the be-all and end-all." Ted replied, "I agree. Since I've met you, you've become the be-all and end-all of my life. When Macbeth contemplates killing Duncan, King of Scotland, to take the throne for himself, he wonders, if it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. Of course, what Macbeth thinks to be the be-all and end-all is actually the beginning of his downfall. In these lines, Macbeth is wondering whether he should go ahead with the murder of the king so that he can fill his shoes. This soliloquy not only gives us the idiom the be-all and end-all, it also has the first recorded use of the word assassination. Trammel is used here to mean to trap in a net. Surcease is a euphemism for death. So what Macbeth is saying is that if killing the king quickly can help him achieve his ambition of becoming king himself without having to face any unpredictable consequences of his actions by trapping them in a net, then that is what he would want to do. He uses the phrase be-all and end-all to express his wish that when he kills the king, he ends all his worries. If he could be certain of success upon this bank and shoal of time, that is, in this life, he'd jump the life to come, that is, risk the spiritual consequences of the murder for his afterlife. Well, Macbeth allows his ambitions to take him on a murderous path that leads to a bad end, not just for those around him, but for himself too. No wonder when Macbeth approaches the three witches in Act 4, Scene 1, one of them says, "By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes." She has a sensation in her thumbs, a sensing of Macbeth's evil. I'm the English Nut. Bye for now.